Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Brome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show, number 1102. Out in our Talking Birds garden right now, behind our studio here, evidence suggests that the two members of the second brood of northern house wrens nesting there have fledged. They've left the nest. Things are much quieter now. Meanwhile, ruby-throated hummingbirds are omnipresent out there, along with the American goldfinches and about a half dozen other visitors. Well, that's what's happening in our Talking Birds garden here in Massachusetts. Meanwhile, here comes a listener audio postcard from a spot that's an ocean and a continent away.
Hello, Ray and friends. This is Siva here from the Wakkerstroom wetlands area in South Africa. And we have been here for a little more than a week birding, and today's our last day. And it's been raining in the past couple of days, but it's a fairly clear day, beautiful day today. All the birds are out after the rain. And what you hear perhaps in the background are the common bulbuls. There's a hoopoe ahead of us. There's a red-eyed dove calling. We've seen a few mouse birds, speckled mouse birds. And earlier we saw a Cape robin chat as well, and an amethyst sunbird. And I just wanted to introduce my friends and fellow birders here. And
hi, this is Lily from Maryland, USA.
Hi, this is Doug from Maryland, USA.
Jim from Texas, USA.
Leon guiding for Holbrook Travel from Nelspruit, South Africa.
And Leon is our fantastic guide who has been spending a lot of time being patient with us, and we are having a wonderful time here. All right, happy birding, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Siva, for that great audio postcard from South Africa. And I can't resist mentioning something else great coming from that country, talking about the new electric safari vehicles from a South African company called Tula Solutions. These are 4x4 off-road safari vehicles that can go just about anywhere while allowing effortless conversation between tour guides and passengers without the sounds and smells of diesel engines, and producing what the company's website calls stunning photography opportunities without the distraction of engine vibrations. That is pretty cool. Well, in terms of audio postcards, if you're looking at or listening to birds or both, think about sending us one. Just grab your smartphone and record what you're seeing or hearing and send the file to ray@talkingbirds.com. A little later in the show, we'll present our mystery bird contest with some pretty cool prizes for the winner. And our three most recent winners were entered into a drawing for a bird weather puck. It's that amazing little device that fits in the palm of your hand and can be installed just about anywhere. We'll record and ID nearly or nearby birds and report them with sound to your smartphone. And as a result of that drawing, the winner is Melissa Coleman from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Congratulations, Melissa. That beautiful bird weather puck will be on its way to you shortly. Well, back in May, we celebrated what we called Plurting Month. But around here, the plurting never stops. The term plurting is a mashup of the words picking up litter while birding. We like to do it, like to encourage other folks to do it. We have another new proud plurter to welcome today. It's Kay from Marble Falls, Texas, who says, quote, "We've already been plurting, just never had a word to go with the practice," end quote. Thank you, Kay. Of course, we didn't invent plurting here. We just came up with a name for it. And as a way to salute folks who do it as official proud plurters, if you like, we'll send you a proud plurter iron-on patch when you sign up. You can do that at the Get Involved tab at talkingbirds.com. That little buzz is our mystery bird. We have the contest later, but a preview right now. Here's some details. Our mystery bird is a small, mostly pale gray and tan songbird with a darker outlined brown ear patch, a white central stripe on the crown, and a whitish eyebrow and mustache stripe. Our bird breeds across the northern Great Plains of the U.S. and way up through western Canada. It winters in the southwestern U.S. and Mexico. It feeds on the ground for seeds and leaf buds. That's our mystery bird. And beautiful prizes on the show this morning for that contest include that fabulous Broom Squirrel Solution 150 feeder. Genuinely squirrel-proof, chew-proof, easy to clean, even has a vented seed tray. Keeps the seed fresh and dry. Plus, we have a birding by ear course from Larkwire. These are courses that let you master bird sounds while having fun doing it. It's a pretty cool thing. Prizes on our mystery bird contest coming on the show here a little bit later on. We're happy to be able to salute another Talking Birds ambassador helping us get the word out about the show and about birds and conservation. And thank you to Amar Ansari from the Woodlands, Texas, our second Texas visitor this morning. Amar says, being of Indian descent and a practicing Muslim, I would love to see more people of diverse backgrounds have an opportunity to experience the magic of birds and nature. Well said, Amar. We just received a note from Amar this week from his campsite in California, expressing his pleasure at hearing our discussion with Laura and Mindy Sirda, the twin sisters who are using birding to help them endure the horrific conditions in Gaza. Well, that was on last week's show, by the way, 2nd of August, show number 1101. To become an ambassador and help us spread the word, that same place again is the Get Involved tab at talkingbirds.com. So to come today, we'll talk with Chicago Bird Alliance Director Matt Igleski about urban birding and the third annual Urban Birding Festival coming to Chicago in September. And today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike Live on a topic about a simple but important way to shop for bird feeders. And up next, a bird that consumes something very unusual, but for a very good reason, is today's featured feathered friend, presented by the Bigger and Better BWD magazine, with each large format issue packed with beautiful photographs, illustrations, and in-depth articles. Experience birds up close with BWD at bwdmagazine.com. It seems fair to say that in breeding plumage, today's featured feathered friend, a small duck-sized water bird called the horned grebe, is just plain gorgeous. Excuse the oxymoron. It's gorgeous because of the striking band of yellow feathers that sweep from the base of the bill to the back of the head like a pair of golden horns, punctuated by bright red eyes. And then there's the contrasting black crown stripe, black bill, and wide strip of black feathers sweeping along the face and chin and flaring out beyond the back of the neck. And that's just the head. The horned grebe sports striking cinnamon plumage on its neck, breast, and sides. All that color goes away in the winter when gray and white body plumage contrast with black on the head, wings, and nape. The horned grebe is a member of the Podicipedidae family of diving birds with compact bodies, legs set far back near the tail, and lobed toes instead of webbed feet. On their western and northwestern Canada and Alaska freshwater breeding territory, horned grebes eat small fish, frogs and tadpoles, crayfish, and small crustaceans. They capture most prey by diving and stabbing with the bill, but they also catch flying insects in the air, from the water's surface, or from floating vegetation. In migration and during winter along both U.S. coasts and most of the southeast, marine worms are added to the diet of crustaceans and fish. Like other grebe species, the horned grebe is known to eat some of its own feathers, creating a matted plug that's believed to protect internal organs from sharp fish bones and to form regurgitation pellets. They're even known to feed feathers to their chicks to get a plug started for them at an early age. Threats to the species include entrapment in fishing nets, water pollution, and oil spills. The 2025 State of the Birds report listed the horned grebe as a yellow alert tipping point species, meaning that it has lost more than 50% of its population in the past 50 years, although recent trends have been relatively stable. And here's an odd fact. Despite looking and behaving like loons or ducks, grebes are most closely related to flamingos. It's today's featured feathered friend, the just plain gorgeous, feather-eating cousin of a flamingo, Podiceps auratus, the horned grebe. Welcome again to our show number 1102. Matt Igleski is the executive director of the Chicago Bird Alliance and the main organizer for what's about to be the third annual Urban Birding Festival. It will take place in and around Chicago, September 18th through the 20th. And he joins us now for a preview. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure to see you again after a couple of years. Well, Matt, folks who aren't from around Chicago might be surprised at how birdy it is there. You told us about this last time, right there on the Lake Michigan shore. Tell us a bit about the habitats for birds, including right in the city.
Right. Yeah. So Chicago is actually a very amazing place for birds, especially migratory birds. You know, we see over 300 species every year, from resident birds to those billions of migratory birds passing through, and they're all stopping at different woodlands and parks, wetlands, the beaches, grasslands. There's just a great variety of the habitat and birds coming through Chicago. So it's a really great place for birds, and all that isn't thanks to, the forest preserves of Cook County that manage over 70,000 acres of woodlands in and around the city. And then also the Park District manages over 100 natural areas, which is about 2,000 acres of habitat right in the city.
So the festival is headquartered at the Peggy Nodabart Nature Museum, quite close to the waterfront. Remind us again, Matt, about that extraordinary place and, of course, about the spectacular and easily accessed waterfront on Lake Michigan.
Oh, yeah. So Peggy Nodabart Nature Museum is a really great headquarters. You actually get in for free on Saturday and Sunday with your registration and badge with the festival. And then it's very close to the Chicago lakefront, which is a sort of a unique feature of Chicago when you compare it to other cities. Mm-hmm. Many other cities don't have that accessibility. In Chicago, the whole lakefront is park. So as soon as you get to the lakefront, you can get anywhere up and down that north-south end of the city just by walking, biking, and we have lots of trips to all those on the lakefront.
That is a beautiful thing. Well, this is the third year for the Urban Birding Festival in Chicago. How has it evolved since year one, and what are some highlights of this year?
Yeah, so it's we're still adding more trips. I think even from year one to year two, we added a couple hundred people in attendance. So people are coming from further away. So we've been trying to add more opportunities on days, especially like Friday, where we've now added a few more presentations, a few more workshops, things like that. We've also added more vendors. So we were just on the upstairs floor in one section of the museum. Now we've added a second vendor space downstairs because we've just been getting more and more interest from people wanting to come to the festival and check it out.
All right. And for people who do want to come to the festival, I hear there are hotels in the Chicago area. True? And if so, what might you recommend for folks coming from out of town?
In terms of accommodations, it's Chicago, so you have a lot of options for hotels and rentals and things like that. On our festival website, under the About tab, there is a lodging section that if people want to have a short list to choose from of places that are relatively close to our headquarters there at Peggy Nodabart, that'll give you kind of the short list. But in general, people seem to figure it out and have a good time. My only recommendation is to stay north edge of downtown, so that in case something is happening in places like Millennium or Grant Park, you don't get kind of swept up in any of that traffic throughout the day.
Right. And we always have to ask about those activities for non-birding spouses and partners who will attend. Yeah, I mean, the activities for non-birding spouses and partners, there's plenty, right? There's museums, there's the Field Museum, the Planetarium, Museum of Science and Industry. The Peggy Nodebart Nature Museum is just north of Lincoln Park Zoo, so people could go hang out at Lincoln Park Zoo or Shedd Aquarium. There's a downtown area with lots of shopping, theaters to go see plays, sporting events like the Bears game that we're hoping doesn't impact too many of our trips that Sunday. Chicago Sky Games, I think, bookending the festival, maybe not during the festival, but in concerts. So there's plenty of things for people to do. And then one kind of fun crossover activity that's happening during the festival is a Red Orchid Theater, which is nearby, and we've done a partnership with them and other events, is presenting a performance of Birds of North America, which is not just a birding play, but it has great crossover appeal because they talk about birds, and then they also have this really great story that goes along with it. So that might be something people would want to look into to go with maybe a non-birding partner. Yeah. What's that theater again? A Red Orchid Theater. Red Orchid Theater in Chicago. Yeah. Well, Matt, while we have another minute, maybe you could give us a plug about the Chicago Bird Alliance and some of the work you're doing. Yeah, so we're doing a lot of bird outings, education programs, conservation. We also started this year a rat contraceptive pilot study that was in response to, unfortunately, a pair of great horned owls dying in Lincoln Park that had consumed rats that presumably had rodenticide in them. And so we've been studying some different products to see if we can convince the city to stop using rodenticides or at least reduce the amount that they use. We've also been working to advocate for bird-friendly ordinance that people can help us with if they visit the Chicago Collisions Coalition website to help us push through that. That's actually already introduced into the city council, and we're hoping it can, greatly reduce the problem with collisions in Chicago. Wow, those are two great projects there for sure. Matt Igleski is the executive director of the Chicago Bird Alliance, presenting the third annual Urban Birding Festival. If you're anywhere near Chicago or can get there by the weekend of September 18th, you'll be rewarded with a beautiful and birdie experience. You can find all the info online at theurbanbirdingfestival.org. Don't forget the THE part. You can just do a search anyway, but it's theurbanbirdingfestival.org. And with that dog barking there, reminding us that we're almost out of time, Matt. I don't know if you can hear that, but anyway, good luck with this great event, year 3, and thanks for being with us. Thank you. Up next here, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute.
The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com.
There's that buzzy bird again. It's our Mystery Bird. And it's our Mystery Bird contest here right now. And here's the number. We'll give it again in a moment. 781-837-4900. Our Mystery Bird is a small, mostly pale gray and tan songbird with a darker outline brown ear patch, a white central stripe on the crown, a whitish eyebrow, and a whitish mustache stripe. Our bird breeds across the northern Great Plains of the U.S. and way up through western Canada. It winters in the southwestern U.S. and Mexico. It feeds on the ground for seeds and leaf buds. That's our mystery bird. Prizes include the fabulous Brome Squirrel Solution 150 feeder with all kinds of great features, especially the fact that it is genuinely squirrel-proof. Plus a birding by ear course from Larkwire. It's a course that lets you master bird sounds, have fun doing it, and it'll work on your iPhone or iPad or your Mac or PC. And you can choose, by the way, Eastern and Midwestern birds or birds of the West. Prizes on our Mystery Bird contest coming right along here shortly. And up next, Let's Ask Mike live with Mike O'Connor in just 1 minute.
Squirrels have one mission in life: eat your birdseed. They hang, they swing, they stretch, climb, and plot their next move. For squirrels, your bird feeder is the ultimate prize. But now, they've finally met their match. Introducing the Squirrel Buster Evolution. When a squirrel climbs onto the feeder, its own weight automatically closes access to the seed, stopping the theft instantly while birds continue to feed comfortably. No batteries, no tricks, no complicated setup. Just smart, proven squirrel-proof technology that works day after day, season after season. That's why the Squirrel Buster Evolution was named Best New Birding Product of 2025 by the Wild Bird Feeding Institute. So let the birds enjoy the feast, and let the squirrels keep trying. Look for the Squirrel Buster Evolution at Brome.com or at your local bird shop.
Well, Mike O'Connor is here with us, and just kind of happenstance, just by coincidence about that local bird shop thing. I think Mike has some ideas about why buying a feeder at your local bird shop is a top quality idea. Good morning, Mike. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I think so. That wasn't bad. That was pretty good.
I did my best. All right, you're the expert, so I'll just sit back here.
Well, yeah, the reason I'm mentioning that is because we had a lady come in the other day very upset, and she brought it to us, a bird feeder with a bird that had a dead sparrow that was in the feeder, got stuck in the seaport and died, and she's very upset, and rightly so. And so I went out to look at the feeder. She didn't want to bring it in the store, and I looked at it, and it was a feeder I had never seen before. And I asked her where she got it, and she told me, and I can see what happens then. And what goes on now is birding has become popular. There's a lot of birding stores, and there's a lot of good products like Brome, which is tremendously popular. And a major online company, I won't say the name, but we've all done business with them, I'm sure, sells Brome. But they also kind of want to make a little bit more money. So it appears they have similar feeders to Brome's feeders, and with a few shortcuts and a few details and research. And they have one made that's similar, and then they put that out there for less money. And most people think, wow, this looks the same. I'll spend less money. But it's not the same. They've taken some shortcuts and cut a few corners, and now this feeder is basically a death trap for birds.
Wow.
I looked online. There's no name of the... There's a name on... there's no phone number from the company, no address. There's a name. I look online, and it doesn't exist anywhere. But it's basically... The online merchant has them made... similar and cheaper, but there's no way of contacting the company. And I read the reviews, and too many people said it was a good feeder till the goldfinch's head was stuck in there, and I had to pull dead birds out of there. So with that, I don't want to be slamming anybody, but when you buy a feeder, it's kind of important to get it someplace. You're buying blind online. I know there's reviews, but you know how that works.
Yeah. They're all 4.5 stars, pretty much. Everything.
Right. Oh, you could buy fiberglass underwear and would have 4.5 stars on it.
And not that I haven't bought some, and I only gave it 1 star. I have to.
Good. Yeah. Well, that's why it's good to have. Yeah. So go to a birding store or someplace that with a company with a name on it, like Brome has a toll-free number, has a warranty, and buy it from somebody who can explain why they like it, why they don't like it, and don't blindly buy them online, because these are not working out. And it's important, if we're going to feed birds, they trust us, and we've got to give them a good product. And you can't just be grabbing stuff online because it's a little bit cheaper. It is not worth it. And while I'm on the topic, another guy came in with a feeder, a big feeder, and with a chickadee inside, still alive, flying around. So there's another feeder not to buy. But more importantly, when you go away, you go overnight, take your feeders in, because if he wasn't there, that chickadee wouldn't have made it out. So it's all grim, but we can do better. So that's all I'm saying about that.
All right. Well, you had to give us the hard truth, and thank you for that, Mike. Appreciate it. All right. Talk to you next week.
All right. Enjoy your underwear. Okay.
Ooh, ouch. Ooh, that's itchy. It's so itchy. All right, Mike O'Connor at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
The Seabird Institute's Hog Island Audubon Camp, celebrating its 90th anniversary, hosts 5-night immersive educational programs for adults, teens, and families. Through these sessions, taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists, Hog Island campers deepen their relationships with the birds and the ecosystems around them. For more information, full camp details, and other program offerings, visit audubon.org/Hog Island. That's audubon.org/Hog Island.
We're back again to the Mystery Bird Contest one more time with the buzzing bird there. What is that bird? We have Inman in Little Rhodey, the great state of Rhode Island. Hello, Inman.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Inman, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. You heard all that stuff about our mystery bird, Inman, and you have concluded what in terms of the identity?
We believe it's the clay-colored sparrow.
Pretty good. Yes. The clay-colored sparrow. Nicely done, and not a bird you're going to see in Rhode Island very often, as far as I know.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
All right, nicely done. And checking the time here, I believe we have time for what we call our mystery bird bonus question, if you'd be interested in trying it.
Absolutely.
All right, we have a beautiful feather-friendly kit for protecting your windows and protecting your birds from the two of those things meeting. So on last week's show, we talked about how the sword-billed hummingbird cleans its extraordinarily long bill by wiping it on a branch. Lots of other birds do something like this too. And it turns out, as we learned from our friend Jim Randolph down in Diamond Head, Mississippi, that there's a name for this behavior. And the question is, what is that name? Multiple choice here. A, beaking. B, streaking. C, feeking. Or, let's see, we need a D, schmeeking. No, that's probably not the one, but it could be. What do you think, Inman?
Well, unfortunately, this is going to be a complete guess, but I'll go with A.
A is beaking. Actually, no, it's feeking with an F, as in Frank. Feeking, yeah. And Jim tells us the word is thought to come from 16th century falconry, probably from the old German word fegen, which means to cleanse or sweep. So that kind of explains the thing there. All right. Well, Inman, anyway, nice job on the mystery bird. You got that right, and we'll send you some nice prizes if you'll stay on the line there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Inman, down there in Rhode Island, correctly identifying the clay-colored sparrow as our mystery bird. Well, we are just about, as we always say around this time, out of time for our show today. We'll get ready working on the other one. And just as quick note, if you'd like to help us keep our show surviving and thriving, one good way to do it is to go to patreon.com and make a little show contribution there. Patreon.com, just enter Talking Birds when you get there. And by the way, we have some really nice perks when you sign up. Again, that's at patreon.com, and just enter Talking Birds. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Brome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.